let's get started tonight. We're going to let's open up in prayer. We just give you thanks for your blessings in our lives. Thank you, Lord, for the ability to learn. Lord, help us, oh God, Lord, to open up our minds so that we can actually absorb and be able to take into every part of this language. And help us, oh God, Lord, to learn quickly and to remember everything that we need to learn. Father, we just open up our hearts to you. We open up our minds to you to teach us, Lord, not only the language, but also something spiritually to us from the language. We just give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Colleen is here from Florida, so that's nice. We have Joe and Anna. There she is. And then we have Sam from Pakistan, and we have Lisa from Port Huron, Lisa area, and Marie from Marysville, Jay and Sarah from Port Huron, and then the people that are here. We got Dennis. We got Ken, Hannah, and Ray. So we got quite a good start here. I got looks like 4 people that are going to be taking this offline, so that I'm actually going to record this. You'll be able to review. I'll have a separate YouTube channel that you can go to, that you can review the video from time to time. And then if you need to review the class for whatever reason. So, and that will allow them to connect on that, because some of them are working tonight. Well, the majority, so there's 4 of them that had to work during the evening, so they wanted to take it. I have 4 people that are like that. They're all out over the place. We got one lady's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm not sure where the other ones are necessarily from, but
my son Nick's working right now, and he definitely wanted to be sitting in the church.
So Nick will be able to get it on the video, and I'll give you an extra handout for him.
I'll just take one.
Now, TJ and Sarah are the only ones that haven't done it. I wasn't aware they were going to do it on Zoom, so I didn't send them the handouts, so I'll have to do that after class. So we'll get started here in just a little bit. We want to start off with the syllabus that you have in front of you. This is an introduction to the Hebrew language. Now, we're not going to learn everything about the Hebrew language. That would take several years, all right? So, but we can at least get to a point where you can read the Hebrew Bible and then understand a good portion of the words. So we're going to, you're actually going to have a pretty good vocabulary time we get through with this, and you'll be able to. Then you'll be able to look up the rest of the words that you don't. It's not in your vocabulary, but it won't be long before you'll be able to be starting to read, and then once you start to read, then it won't be long before you start to be able to understand what you read. You're going to be reading before you can understand it. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're going to be reading a lot of Hebrew, but you're not going to understand it. All right? But then as you get the vocabulary going, well, then you'll have a little better. We're also going to start very slowly. So we're going to let people. We're not going to leave anybody behind. So if somebody is struggling with it, we're going to work with them so they're up with us. I'm not going to leave anybody in the dirt, in the dust, while we have 2 or 3 people that are taking off. We're going to have to. So whoever's the slowest person at the time, that's the speed of the class. How's that? All right. When we're doing it free like this, we can just take our time. So it's going to it'll take a while to get through everything, but we can do that. Also, one of the things that about the language is that there are a lot of different videos out there, a lot of different teachings out there, a lot of different materials out there that you can learn the language from. I'm going to ask you for the purpose of this class that we just stay with the material that I supply to you, because I don't want number one, I don't want you to get confused with a bunch of other material that's out there that that may conflict. For instance, there's the Sephardi and there's the Ashkenaz, and so and they pronounce things differently. All right. Not only that, but you have different areas, and just like the United States, where people will say things in the South much differently. For instance, does everybody know what oral is? Everybody know what Earl is? All right. Well, Earl is that black stuff that comes out of the ground. That's what Earl is. All right. Now, some people say all. Some people call it all. But some people say oil. And so, you know, the Hebrews are somewhat like that. So we're going to learn how to pronounce the consonants and then also the vowels. Then you're going to hear somebody else pronounce it differently, because that's the way language is. People they slur their words and they change a little bit, like Earl and oil. All right. So so that's why I want to stay with just in the class. You're going to learn it one way. We're all going to learn it the same way. It's the only way I can tell whether or not you are understanding it. And then as you go along, well, then if you want to change a little bit of it and start talking a little more streetwise with the Hebrew, well, then that's fine. But it's kind of like when you're studying English. You're studying the proper English. But then when you get out in the street, you're saying something completely different. Case in point, the phone rings and somebody says, "May I speak to David?" And you go, you answer and you go, "This is him." Well, your English teacher just had a heart attack, okay? Because I just used incorrect English. But that's the way we talk. We don't use it correctly. I should have said this is he, right? So that's just kind of a case in point. So we kind of know that. So I'm going to be giving the material out. So also don't, that means that, don't share material back and forth. You may run into something for the class. Just let's just keep it with what I have, and we'll go with that. All right. So let's go through the syllabus, as I want you to see that the text that we're going to use is the Sefer HaBratot, and this is the Sefer HaBratot. It's the book of the covenants. So this is our textbook. This is where we're going to be getting our words, our language, a lot of things right out of that. So that's the only textbook. The course is an introduction to Hebrew language. And special attention is given to learning the alphabet along with the Nikudot, and the Nikudot is the vowel marking, as well as providing resources for word studies in Hebrew. So we're actually going to be able to do a word study when we get through this. The major emphasis will be to train the student to read the Hebrew text with an elementary knowledge of the language. So here's the objectives. You have three objectives. You have understanding, skills, and attitudes. So under understandings, we're going to develop an awareness of the uniqueness of Hebrew as a language. We're going to develop an understanding of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. We're going to develop an understanding of Hebrew words and simple Hebrew sentences as written in the Bible. And we're going to look at skills. We're going to be able to recite the Hebrew alphabet and be able to identify each letter in out of order. All right, so we're just going to throw up the letter and see if you can identify it. Eventually, we'll get there. To recognize and apply the shapes and sounds of the Hebrew Nikudot within a Hebrew word. To demonstrate an ability to divide a Hebrew word into syllables. To develop the ability to read the Hebrew text. To demonstrate the ability to do Hebrew word studies, comparing scriptures where identical Hebrew words are found. And then under attitudes, to grow in your appreciation of biblical truth by discovering how the Hebrew language brings a depth to biblical knowledge. And two, demonstrate in life and practice a cognizant awareness of God's message to the world through the Hebrew language. Methodology and requirements. The method, we're going to be lecture method. We will be using lecture method. Lecture method is defined this way. I do most of the talking, you do most of the listening. I'm going to try to finish talking before you get through listening, right? So, but I will call on people from time to time. So complete all assignments and participate in discussions. We will have homework as we go along, not this particular week, but as we go along. Memorize the Hebrew letters of the alphabet. Memorize the Nikodot. Demonstrate your ability to syllabify Hebrew words. Memorize the weekly vocabulary list. Demonstrate your ability to read the Hebrew text. Demonstrate your ability to do a word study on a Hebrew word, and complete any additional assigned work and complete a final exam. Now I have I'm not going to read this part right here, but I have a Hebrew, the original language, and you can take that and read that for yourself. I believe that that Hebrew is one of the most wonderful languages in the world. It is the Lashon HaKodesh, the Holy Tongue. It is the very language that God created in the beginning in order to create the worlds. He had to create a language first. He didn't need a language when it was just God. But then when he created the world, he had to have some way of communicating with us. In fact, there are 3 reasons why God created language. We don't need language to talk to each other. I don't know if you know that or not, but we don't. God could have created us. We could have easily learned to communicate with each other through grunts and groans, or through sign language, or a number of different ways. We could have developed any kind of way of communication. Animals communicate all the time, and they don't have a language. But God wanted to communicate with man, and so he had to have a language that was something that he could communicate with man through. So God created a language in order to communicate with man. He also created language so that man could communicate with him. So that's the second reason, so that man could communicate with him. That's the reason why you're able to speak, is because God wants you to hear your voice every once in a while. Isn't that awesome? All right? That the creator of all the universe wants to hear your voice. And so then we have the third reason was because he was going to give man dominion. And God created everything with words. Words put everything here. And it's words that have dominion over those things. So our language has a great deal to play in whether or not we have dominion in life or not. This is why it's important that we watch our words of our mouth, that we have words that are positive in nature, that they are words that are wholesome words, that they're not words that tear down, that they're words that build up, because our words are important. And the power of life and death are in the power of the tongue. The reason is because all creation is created by words. Jesus said, if you would have faith enough to say to that mountain, be thou removed, and be cast into the sea, it would obey you. Now, he meant what he said, because he turned right around, and as an illustration, that there was the withering of the fig tree. He spoke to the fig tree and said, "No man eat fruit of thee forever." And so he was obviously talking about a physical mountain. Now, I'm not sure where I necessarily want to go around, doing that. But if it was necessary to move a mountain, God said that I could move it. Isn't that interesting? So, because it was words that put the mountain there, it's words that can move it. So Jesus certainly understood that. All right. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the Hebrew letters, and we're going to learn them each individually. I think and then I've also got a song that we're going to be singing, and I will give you a link to a video that you can practice with, and it's the alphabet song, and it's, you all learned the alphabet song when you was a kid, the English alphabet song, right? In fact, you can probably sing it today, because once you learn it, it's there. It's to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? And A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. We can just rattle off that out. And what I want you to do is get to the point where you can rattle off the Hebrew alphabet just as fast. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Tet, Bet, Yud, Vav, then just keep on going. Yud, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samech, Ayin, Pei, Fei, Tzadi, Kuf, Reis, Sin, Tav. And so when you're able to do it that quickly, so what by singing the song, that'll help you be able to learn the letters and be able to rattle them off like that, because you're going to be able to do that. All right, so it's going to take us a while to get to that point. So we're going to start with the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is this right here. This is the Aleph. So everybody, now here's the interesting thing about Hebrew. Hebrew is an Eastern language, and so if you want to get a little bit of the what's the word, the sound like a Jewish person would make it sound. You're going to have it going like a French nasal. All right. My wife is up here. There's kind of a nasal quality to the French. So if you can kind of put everything with a French accent, adap. So let's say this, adap. Okay, adap. All right. Now we got the next one. This is baked. Baked. Everybody say this. Baked.
Baked.
Baked. Baked. This is just like that, except it doesn't have the dot in the middle. And this is baked. Baked. It has a V sound. Baked. The next one, the fourth letter. Actually, it's the third letter. Third letter is because the second letter is baked date. All right, it's the one with the dagesh, one without. This is Gimel. Gimel. All right, that's Gimel. There's also a word in Hebrew. It's Gamal. Gamal is the camel.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like all right. Then you have the next one. The fourth letter in Hebrew alphabet is Dalet. 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 The next one, the fifth letter is Hey. Hey. The sixth letter, Bob. The seventh letter, with the crooked little staff there, this is Zayin. Zayin. It's the sword. Now you have the Chet. Now this is the CH like in Bach. Bach. It's going to be like a German C. CH. It's a Chet. So you're going to have to get that Chet. All right. The ninth letter is Tet. Tet. And the 10th letter is Yud. Yud. You're going to hear that pronounced Yod. You're going to hear it pronounced Yud. But Yud. Yud is how we're going to pronounce it here, all right?
Yud.
All right. The next three letters, the next three cards that I have are all the same letters, they're just different forms of it. This has got a dagesh in it, and a little dot there. It's called Kaf. Kaf. K-A-F. Kaf. Kaf. The next one, without the dot in the middle, is going to be Cha. It's got the Cha. So without the dot is Cha, with the dot is Ka. Right? Then they have Then they have a thing called a Sofit letter. A Sofit letter. A Sofit letter is it's the same word kaf that we saw before, only this is going to appear at the end of the word. The other letters are going to appear at the beginning or the middle of the word. This is going to be at the end of the word. And this is the kaf Sofit. Kaf Sofit. Kaf Sofit. Sofit means ending. Then we have the Lamed. 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 Then we have Mem. And Mem Sofit. See, one's open and the other one's closed. So we have Mem and Mem Sofit. This is the end of the word. This is the beginning or the middle of the word. This is going to be the end. Mem and Mem Sofit. Then we have Nun and Nun Sofit. Nun and Nun Sofit. That looks like a bomb, but it's real long, right? Okay. And the next letter is Samak. Samak.
Samak.
Samak.
They can't see us. Or we muted.
This is Ayin.
Ayin.
A good way of remembering this letter is that it's got two eyes up here. Ayin. Ayin. All right, these next three cards are the same letter. They're just three forms of it. We have pay, with the dot in the middle is pay.
Okay.
Off the dot, it's pay, with an F. So P and F, pay and pay. And then the Sofit letter, pay Sofit. Pay Sofit. And the next letter, Zadeh. Zadeh. Zadi, Zadeh, Zadi, either way, Zadi or Zadeh, either way is fine. This is Zadi Sofit. Yes, yes, Kate.
Question there. On the Sofit letters, it looks like the tail is long on all of them.
Yeah, except for the male.
Yes, except the.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Kuf. Kuf. Notice that that it's not connected here. This is separate from this part. Looks almost like two letters side by side, but this is one letter. It's not supposed to be connected. Then you have this one is Resh. And if you can trill your R's, I can't do it, but if you can do it, I can't do it. Some people can go Resh, okay? But they do trill their R's, all right? All right, now these two letters, if the dot is on the right, it's sheen. If the dot is on the left, it's seen. Sheen, seen. Sheen, seen. And then the last letter is the tav. Tav. All right, so we got the letters ready, right? So what I'm going to do, we're going to see how many people can remember. All right, Sam, what is this letter?
Aleph.
Aleph.
Oh.
Tov Mod, very good. Tov Mod is good, very good. All right, let's do Anna. Anna, what is this letter?
I don't know.
Okay.
Baked.
Bait.
Baked.
Okay, like a V. Okay. So let's go to Colleen. Colleen, what is this letter?
Vate with a V. Vate.
Baked with a V. Very good. All right. Let's go to TJ. TJ, what's this letter?
Gimel.
Gimel, yes, very good. Go mode.
He cheated. I
I
told him
cheated
that.
bad on that.
You see it? Why did you? Wait, I didn't hear it.
He cheated.
All right, Sarah, what's this letter?
Noon.
What's this letter?
Noon.
I didn't hear it.
Noon.
He said noon.
No, it's not noon.
Raish.
It does look like a race, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
Except that this extends past this way, past this long line. So this is the Dalit. This is the Dalit.
See, when I cheat, TJ tells me the wrong answer.
TJ told her the wrong.
TJ told me the wrong
Oh, man.
answer.
Hey, you're in trouble, buddy boy.
Okay, all right. Lisa, what is this letter?
Can I ask a friend?
And she asked a friend.
Oh, ask a friend.
That's the house, right?
Ma'am.
Is it noon? I don't know, Dave.
This is the hay.
The hay.
Hay. And I'm sorry, is that, I can't read your name, Eli Giak?
Yes, Ellie. Yup.
Eli?
Yes. Ellie. Yup.
Eli?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eli, what's this letter?
Val.
Bob?
Is that Val
Okay.
or Mel?
All right. We having fun yet? Okay, Marie, what's this letter?
Zayn.
Diane, of mode. Okay, now we're doing our class. Let's see, how about Dennis? Dennis, what's this letter? Chat. Very good. All right. How about you, Skip?
Tet.
This is Tet. Tet. And Ken.
You.
Yod, yeah, Yud, okay. All right, Hannah.
Cuff.
Oh.
What is that, Hannah? Hannah, what is it?
Cuff.
This is the Kaf. Kaf, okay?
That's the cuff. Cuff or cuff? That was
With K. Okay, then what's this, Ray?
Oh.
This is Kaf with the throat sound. Kaf. The other one's Kaf, this is Kaf. All right. So now let's go to Marie. Marie, what's this?
I forgot.
Sophie.
Kaf Sophie.
Cough sulfite.
Kaf Sophie. In fact, the reason that they put these dots in there so you don't confuse it with the Dalit, because it looks like a Dalit with a long leg on it. So there's dots on there to keep so you don't confuse it with the Dalit. All right. How
I know that one.
about Sarah? Sarah, what's this letter?
Lamed.
Lamed. Oh, good. Colleen, what's this letter?
Oh, I forgot. Mem? Is it mem?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it mem?
Ma'am. Ma'am. Sam, what's this letter?
I can't.
This is Mem Sophie. Mem Sophie.
Okay.
All right. So Sam, what's this letter? We'll try Sam again.
Ka. Ka.
This is Joshua, the son of son of Nun. This is Nun. All right, Anna, what's this letter?
Noon Sufi.
Dovmod, yes. In. All right. Let's go, let's see what we got here. We got, how about Hannah? Hannah, what's this one? She just taking her head. This is Samek. Samek. Samek is a circle. Samek is a circle. Ken, what's this one?
Yeah, 2 eyes.
Ein. Okay. Dennis, why didn't you give me that one? All right, Dennis, what's this one?
Hey.
That's pay. All right. And Ray, what's this one?
Hey, Sophie.
No. This is pay
Hey.
without the dot. Okay. And then this one is the peso P. It's longer. All right. Okay. All right, Skip. Zadi.
You put your tongue into your teeth.
Yeah, it's a TS sound. All right. Lisa, what's this one?
Oh, I love that look. It's just, I like the lines and I like the dot. You're laughing at me, TJ.
Zadi Sophie.
Is that Rush?
Zadi Sophie.
Ah.
All right. Marie, what's this one?
Kof.
Cool. All right, Ellie, what's this one?
I can't remember.
There's like a backwards R in English, right? In fact, this is where R. This is the resh. This is the resh.
Rish.
Okay.
Sheen.
And let's try Hannah again. See if we can get one of these right. You know this one?
Sheen. Sheen.
We got TJ over there coaching you. This is the sheen. Sheen. Okay, Hannah, what's this one? That's sheen. What's this one? Seen.
Sheen.
Without just an S sound, right? All right, Hannah, please, you know this, right? Tom.
Yeah, so it's the last one. I know
That's Tom. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to pass out some sheets for you, and this is the we're going to practice writing the letters right here. So give everybody a copy here. I'm also going to send this to you in your over the internet, so you can print out as many of these as you want to practice. There are three main domains of learning. You have the psychomotor domain, you have the affective domain, and you have the cognitive domain. Cognitive domain is what we were doing here, opening this up and getting you used to seeing the shapes of the letters and identifying them. So you can recognize the letter to what the name of it is. So that's the cognitive domain. The psychomotor domain is when you actually take writing out the letter yourself, and as you're writing out the letter, you're saying the letter out loud. So now you're getting a psychomotor. It's your motor and your mind is working together. So you're actually formulating the letter and you're thinking about the letter that you're saying. So if you as you're writing it out, if you say the letter as you write it down, well then you'll learn it a lot faster. So then the third one is the affective domain. The affective domain is your emotions. So the more emotional that you feel about. This is why it's important when you're learning a language that it's something that you want to do extremely bad, because if this is just something that you just would like to, well, I'd like to, it'd be nice if I learned the language. You're not going to do it because your emotions are not in it. But man, when you start falling in love with the language, you start falling in love with it, and you just can't even do anything but think about it. That's when learning really takes on a brand new level. So what we want to do is try to incorporate as many of these three ways of learning as we possibly can. That's why it's important that we have some fun. We do things interactive with each other because when we're learning a language, if it's all just boredom, then we're gonna lose interest after a while. So we're gonna try to make it fun as we go along. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna have some fun as we laughing at each other and laughing with each other about pronunciations and stuff like that. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're going to learn to write the letters. But I want you to take a separate sheet of paper before we start on the handout that I just sent you. I want you to take a separate sheet of paper, and if you don't have one, maybe you can borrow from somebody. But I'd like you to just on a separate sheet of paper, if you have a line paper, I want you to do this at the top of the line. And so here's your line paper, right? So what I want you to do is right here at the top, start, and then do this little letter right there. So I'm going to try to make it big enough so they can see it. I don't know if they can see it on the screen or not.
Can you bring that board and just please?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's so unstable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it really big. This is the shape I'm looking for right here.
Kind
Kind of like a step, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe like a half swastika.
Oops.
All right. And what I want you to do is just do that over and over again, over and over again. All right. That looks really good, Ray. See how you're doing. Yep, there you go. Do it over and over again. Oh, you're sharing pens? I got another pen here if you want. I got an ink pen here you can use. There we go. All right. See how you're doing over here. Oh, no, very good, very good. All right. All right. Why do I have to have you do this? Because every letter starts with that motion right there. Every letter starts with that motion. So every letter is going to start with that motion. So let's look at the Allah.
Can anyone see the board?
What's that?
They're not seeing the board.
They're not seeing the board, but I'll try to get it up here closer. Let's see if I can.
Nope, can't see the board at all.
I'll move it closer. How's that?
Want me to move this for you?
No, that's fine. I'll just get it over here. We'll move it right here.
Okay.
You might need to start that little squiggle over.
Okay, can you see that? No? Can't see the board?
Okay.
All right,
It's too little.
too little. Let me get it, let me get it. This is why you need to be here in the classroom.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we're gonna come down and then over and then down. I made that really big, but so down, over, just a little bit, and then down. That's a slant, and then we're gonna do a little line over here, and then a line right there, and then come up there, and then we have, that's where we've made an olive. So we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna do it a lot bigger this way. This is gonna be an olive. Okay? I start off there with that little line right there. Make my long line here. A long slanted line. Then I'm going to do a line like that. Bring it over and connect it. Then up here, I'm going to come over, down to the line, and then out. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't do it too symmetrical because I'm so big. This is actually should have been out here a little bit farther. Make it a little more symmetrical. There we go. All right, so let's try the bait now. So on your sheet that I handed you, you can see how to write the olive. This is going to be a bait. We're going to start with the little line right there. We're going to come all the way over. We're going to come down. We're going to go back behind the line and then come out this way and put a dot in the middle of there, and that's the bait. When I do the bait, I'm going to start with the little line there, come across, come down, go back behind the line, come out in front of the line without the dot, and that's the bait. So this is the bait. This is the bait. Bait and bait. Okay, the gimel. The gimel, I'm going to start with that little line right there, and I'm going to come down. Oh boy, I forgot what I'm doing here. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to come down, and then what I'm going to do is come up here and make a leg that reaches out to in front of it. Now I know your picture's got this foot that's really wide there. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you get this basic thing right here, you've got a pretty good gimel right there. All right. The next one is the dalet. The dalet, I'm going to put that dot, start off with that line, come over all the way across. Then I'm going to come back from that line a little bit, and I'm going to do a just slightly slanted line backwards, going this way. I'm going to slant backwards a little bit, but make sure you get this little extra line right here past that line, and that's the dalet.
And then the part going down is slanted backward like a backward slash on a computer.
Yes, but not quite that pronounced. Just barely going backwards. If you think of it this way, the gimel is before that one. So let's see. I put the gimel here. The gimel is running toward the dalet. The dalet is leaning back toward the gimel. All right. All right, then we have the next dalet. The next one is hey. I'm going to start with that little mark, coming all the way across, down, and then make another little leg over here to the side with the space in between them. That's the hey. The vav, we're going to come out with that little mark, and come straight down. And we're just going to come down to the line. If you go below the line, it's a nun safit, rather. I'm sorry, nun safit. So we want to make sure we don't come past the bottom of the line. Going from the top of the line to the bottom of the line. That's the vav. Then the next one, so that's the 6. Then we got the zayin. The zayin has got a top that slants just a little bit, like that, and it's got a crooked little leg on it. Crooked little leg. Looks like a dagger. The next one is the chet. So we're going to go across, down, and then all the way up to the top of and then come down. Notice how the hay looks like the chet? The chet is closed and the hay is open. That's why it's important to watch how you're drawing these things, because the letters sometimes are very close to each other. All right. Then we have the tet. The tet. The tet, you start off that little line, you come over, you make a U. Come up with a U, and then come down inside the U like that. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a coiled up snake. There's the head of the snake, and there's the coil. So the tet is a snake in a basket.
What's after Bob?
That's the ninth letter. The 10th letter
How do you?
is what we started off making that little thing right there, the U.
That one on the end, right there.
That's the 10th letter. All right, let's go back. I'm going to clear off some room here. We have the cough. Start with that and then come around like that. That's a cough. Actually, that's a cough. If I got the dot in there, that's a cough. Without the dot, it's cough. This is cough. This is cough, cough. And then we're going to have cough sophi. See how the sophi letter comes below the line? So the cough letters, this is going to be your line paper. Your cough, cough, and cough sophi.
2 dots.
Yeah, 2 dots, like a colon, like an English colon.
Right, okay, I see.
Yeah. Now you might actually see it without the dots, but most of the time you're going to see it with the dots. All right. All right. Then the next letter is the 11th letter. Kaf, Lamed. So then we got Lamed.
12th letter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is the 11th letter. This is 12th letter. 12th letter is Lamed. So I'm going to way above the line. See, here's the line right there. There's your line. We're going to go above the line. We're going to come down to the line. Then we're going to do a circle. Or, I'm sorry, half circle, kind of like a cough. And then come down to the line. That's a lamed. That's the tallest letter that we're looking at. The next one is the mem. The mem is a little bit interesting because we're going to come down like a vav, like that. Then we're going to start a little bit down here, and we're going to come over, and then down, and then across, but we're not going to connect. Something like that.
You don't connect.
They don't connect. You got an opening there.
Opening in the bottom.
In the bottom, on the bottom left, yep. Then your mem sopit is basically a square. It's not quite a square. You're going to do a little bit of a line there. It's mem sopit. It's closed. Then the next letter is the noon. And the noon's a narrow letter. So we're going to go just a little bit, and then we're going to come down, and then we're going to go over like that. It's narrower than your bait and narrower than your cough. If you make that too wide, it's going to look like a cough.
Looks like a bracket.
Looks like a bracket, doesn't it? So you want to make it narrower, it's going to look like a cough, or it's going to look like a bait if you make it too wide. It look like a cough or a bait if you make it too wide. So it's going to be narrow. Then you have the noon sopit, which is basically a vav that goes down below the line. Mem, noon sopit. Then we have the samik. Samik. And the samik is a circle. Circle. That's samik. Samik is a circle.
Complete circle of no.
Just a little, you start off with that. Everything, all letters start off with that, and then it comes down and makes a circle. Every letter has a yud in it. That's interesting, isn't it? And Jesus said that that there would not be one yud or one tittle or one little extra mark that would pass. So not even the smallest part of a letter would not disappear out from the law. He's referring to the Hebrew alphabet when he's talking about that, the letters of the alphabet. All right, so we got samik. This one is the ayin. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down. We're going to make a little line, and then we're going to come down slanted, and then we're coming over here with a leg like that. And then we're going to come down with another line down like that. That's an eye. You got two little eyes right here. Stomach, ayin. Then we have pay. I haven't missed any letters, have I? Nope. Okay, pay. We're actually going to make like a bait without the tail on the end of it. Then you're going to come down up here to this first part. We're going to come down and come up and make a little almost like a big J in there, and put a dot right there, and that's a pay. Then if I do that again, and then without the dot, and it's a pay. So this is pay and pay. Pay and pay. Then we have pay sophi. Pay sophi, down there, bring that below the line like that, come back up, draw your little hook, and that's a pay sophi.
It goes below the line.
Below the line. All right, the next one is the Zadi. The Zadi. And the Zadi, you're going to start over here. You're going to go this way and you're going to slant to the right. Remember, I slanted to the left on the iron, but this is going to slant to the right. Then I'm going to make a corner, not a corner, but a little, rounded corner, and come back, make it look like a hook. Then come back up here, and then bring a short line right back to that line there, and that's called a Zadi. So I'm making this right here, and then I'm coming over here and making a little short thing, and that's a Zadi. And the Zadi Sofit. The Zadi Sofit, we go down here and we're going straight down like you do with the noon. Noon Sofit, like making a noon Sofit. And then over to the right, you're going to come over here and come down and connect like that. And that's the Zadi Sofit. All right. Then we have Kuf. Kuf. And Kuf, you're going to come over. You're going to make a rounded corner. And when you get almost about 5/8 of the way back, then you're going to come down just a little bit with a little thing right there. It's coming down. So you're going to make, this looks like a cough. Then you come there, and then you take a line, and you move it over to the left of that, and that's a coup. I slanted it, but
Does the line go below the straight line go below the letter?
the line.
The line?
The coup, yes. I believe that's right. Yeah. What? Let me look at your. It should. I think it does. Let me see. Now this is. Yeah, it comes below the line.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it did. So this is going to go below the line. All right. That's Kuf. Anybody know what the next letter is after Kuf? Resh. Resh. Ruffles have ridges. All right, make it a rounded corner and then come down to the line. Down to the line, that's a resh. Resh. My children, they could all make their R's roll, and they could all roll their R's. And I could never do it. And they go, Daddy, say ruffles have ridges. And they go, ruffles have ridges. They would do that, And they go, come on, Daddy, you say it. And I go, ruffles have ridges. And they just loved it. They thought that was the funniest thing. Every time we have company, Daddy, come here. All right. That's why you have children, so they can embarrass you. That's why.
All the time.
All right. Then we have the next one. Next one is the sheen. So we're gonna come down. We're gonna come over. We're gonna make a big U. And we're gonna come back with another one. And this one is going to go like that. And you're gonna put a dot on the right-hand side for sheen, right? Sheen. Then we're going to do that again. That's seen. That's on the left. All right. And the last letter, we're going to start off with our little yud there. Go over, go down. We're going to come down like you'd make it a chet, but we're going to put a tail on it, like that. So basically, the tav is like a chet with a little hook on the left-hand side.
Or a resh.
Yeah, except that the rest is gonna be rounded over more, yeah.
So it's gonna be a little bit more like this.
Yeah, it's like a,
Instead of a rounded like a resh, it's
yeah,
gonna be a,
it's gonna be squared,
it's
yeah,
gonna be squared off.
yeah, squared off, yeah.
All right.
All right, so what I want you to do with your practice sheet there is take that home and practice writing your letters and bring them next week and try to write them as good as you can. So now I'm going to hand out my last handout here. These, you can cut these out. This is, you can cut these out. If you want to laminate them before you cut them, you can make them where they last a lot longer. And on the front is the letter, and on the back is what the letter is. Okay? So these are little flashcards that you can make yourself so you can learn the letters. It was nice of me to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I found this online. But there are some good stuff out there. All right. All right, let's try our song and let's see if we can. First of all, let's say the alphabet just letter by letter. Look at it. Yeah.
If you're like printing, normally like, you're writing letters or something,
Mhm.
is it true that the form of letters is a lot more basic?
Yes. Yes. The reason I'm doing it this way and not the cursive, because I want you to be able to read it in the Bible as it is in the book form. So once we learn a book form, if you want to learn cursive, it's not that hard to learn cursive, and be able to write it that way if you want. You know, the aleph is very basic. They're all very basic. They're really interesting. You know, but for our purposes, we're wanting to get to be able to read this. This is what we want to read, right? And it's written in book form. So that's why I'm telling you to try your best to write it like the book form is, because you want to be able to recognize it when you see it in here. And the cursive is good if you're going to be corresponding with somebody. They don't want you corresponding in book print. They'll want the cursive part. So they do still teach cursive in Hebrew. We don't teach cursive anymore in English. But all right.
That's
So
right, my kids don't even write a check.
isn't that terrible? All right. So say these letters after me. We're going to go through each one. Aleph.
Aleph,
Beit.
Beit,
Gimel.
Nun,
Dalet. Hey.
Hey,
Vav.
Vav,
Zayin.
Zain,
Chet.
Het,
Tet.
Tet,
Yud.
Yud,
Yud,
Kaf.
Kaf,
Cha.
Chaf,
Kaf Sofit.
Chaf Sophie,
Lamed.
Med,
Mem.
Mem,
Mem Sofit.
Mem Sophie,
Nun.
Nun,
Nun Sofit.
Nun Sophie,
Samek.
Samek,
Ayin.
Ayin,
Ahim,
Pei.
Hey,
Pei.
Fei,
Pei Sofit.
Hey Sophie,
Zade.
Zari,
Ain,
Zade Sofit.
Zahe Sophie,
Kuf,
Oh,
Resh,
Resh,
Shin,
Seen,
Sin,
Seen,
Ta.
Tav.
All right, so I'm going to sing this alphabet song, and what I want you to do is I'm going to sing a couple of letters at a time, and as I'm singing them, I want you to repeat it. So I'm going to sing. What I'm going to say, I'm going to go Aleph, Bet, Bet, and you'll go Aleph, Bet, Bet. Then I'll go Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Then you go Gimel, Dalet, Hey. So you're going to do an echo of me, all right? Play a little echo game here. Aleph, Bet, Bet.
Aleph, Bet, Bet.
Gimel, Dalet, Hey.
Al, Dalet, K.
Vav, Zayin, Ket, Tet.
Zayin, Tet, Set.
Yud, Kaf.
Tav.
Lamed, Mem, Nun.
Lamed, Mem, Nun.
Samek, Ayin, Pei, Pei.
Samek, and Pepe.
Sadeh, Kuf, Resh.
Sade, Kuf, Resh.
Shin, Sin,
Sin, Sin, Tav.
Very good. Let's try it again. Aleph, Bet,
Bet,
Gimel, Dalet, Hey.
Dalet, Hey.
Vav, Zayin, Ket, Tet.
Zayin, Tet.
Yud, Kaf.
Yud,
Lamed, Mem, Nun.
and Nun.
Samek, Ayin, Pei, Pei.
Samek, and Pepe.
Sadeh, Kuf, Resh.
Sade, Kuf, Resh.
Shin, Sin, Tav.
Sin, Tav.
All right. When I send you the video, you'll connect it. Really, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun to do it. They'll put the letters up on the screen as they're saying it, so you actually be able to see the letters as you're singing the letters. When you'll be able to, then what you'll do is you can go down the highway and you can try to sing it without them. Aleph, Bet, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin, Ket, Tet. Yud, Kaf. Lamed, Mem, Nun. Samek, Ayin, Pei, Pei. Sadeh, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Sin, Tav. And try to get to where you can just sing faster and faster and faster until you can just because the faster you're able to sing it, the better. And I remember when I was learning this, I'd be driving down the road and I'd be driving down Aleph, Bet, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Vav, Zayin. I'm saying, oh, what's that? What next letter? What's that letter? Bob saying, oh well, Lamed, Mem, Nun. And then but eventually I'll be able to put that letter in there. So it's going to be hard. I learning a language is difficult. But you're going to have to learn outside the classroom as well. So. Just doing it in class time is not going to be enough. All right, so I think I've got all the handouts done. So now what I'm going to do is open up for any questions that anybody has. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions at all?
Do you write Hebrew from right to left or left to right?
It's right to left. So you start at the right-hand side of the page and you move to the left-hand side of the page.
Okay.
Hebrew is written right to left. Okay, anybody else?
What is the meaning of Aleph?
What's that?
Aleph. Meaning. Aleph.
Meaning of Aleph.
Oh, the meaning of Aleph? Well,
Yeah.
Aleph is also a word in Hebrew. When it's spelled out, Aleph, Lamed, Pei, Pesavit, when you spell it out, Aleph, it actually is a word. So it means ox. And believe it or not, the picture language behind it is also an ox, but an Aleph is an ox. aluf, which is spelled the same way, just got a different vowel marking. Aluf means chief or captain, or the top peer, top level of something. All right, so a chief or a captain. Aluf. Then you have elef. Elef is 1,000.
I'll probably be up by
Is 1,000.
Really again?
So if they talking about 1,000, it's elef, and but it's
Ooh.
Aleph, Amid, Pe, Sophie, but it's
Oh,
vowel marking. So there's several words that are into that. The Aleph is made up of 2 U's and a Vav, and then the numbers of that. There's a lot of teaching behind the letter. I don't want to get too much into all of that, because if I get into that, one, it'll take us forever. Number 2, it's not going to teach you to read it. So we just want to stay with the basic shapes of the letter and the meaning of it. But most of these letters have also words associated to them. Like Beit is a house, a Bayit. Bayit is a house. A Beit is the house. All right. Okay. Does anybody else got any other questions? All right. So next week, what we're going to do, I'm going to try to do. So if you should be able to recognize some of these letters next week out of order. So I'm going to mix it. We'll do them in order to refresh our memory. But then I'm going to shuffle these up. We're going to see if you can identify them if they're out of order. So we're going to try to learn them in order first, and then but realize that I'm going to throw these out. So we're going to because here's the plan. Here's the plan. So you understand where we're going. First of all, we're going to learn the letters and the sound that the letters make. 2 of the letters are silent. The Aleph and the Ayin are both silent letters. They do not make a sound unless there's a vowel underneath them. So if there's no vowel underneath an Ayin or an Aleph, then it's no sound at all. This is the sound of an Aleph. That's the sound of an Aleph. But the other ones have sounds that go along with their names, like Beit and Veit, B and V. Then Gimel has got a G sound. Hey is a H sound. Vav is a the sound. So and so forth. All right. Okay. Then what we'll do is once we associate the sounds of the letters, then we're going to learn all the vowel markings. So a vowel, the vowels are called nikud. Nikud is what is vowel. Nikudot is vowels, plural. We're going to learn the nikudot. We're going to learn all the nikudot. We're going to learn the ones that are the basic ones, the one that you're going to see the most of. Then so we're going to learn those. We'll memorize what the names of the nikudot as well as the sound, because the names tell you the sound of the vowel. So the name of the nikudot will tell you the sound of the vowel. So that's why we're going to want you to learn the names of the vowel, because it helps you remember the sound of the vowel. And then the next step is we will learn how to divide words into syllables. When you're able to divide into syllables, you can then at least be able to pronounce the word. You won't know necessarily what you just said, but you can pronounce it. Then you're able to read. After that, we get into prefixes, suffixes, and infixes, and how do they change, and how they affect the word. Then, so you can be able to identify the root of the word, and be able to see where the prefixes and suffixes should either be there or not there. So once we do that, then you're off and running. And we're going to start next week with we learn the vowels. Once we learn the vowels and learn to syllabify and to break it into syllables, once we learn that, then we're going to start with some words that you can actually begin to pronounce. There'll be words you're used to, like Abraham and Adam and root and different words like that. All right. Okay. So a long ways to go. But we don't have a short time to get there. So, but in a way we do, because Lord's coming. But I remember when I was studying the Hebrew language with the Jewish man in Macomb. And when I was down there with Pastor King and I was down there, and I told Jeff was his name. I told him one day. Now he's not a believer. He's not a Messianic believer. He's a Jewish guy. But I told him one day. I said, since I've been studying this language, I said I feel a lot closer to Yeshua than I ever have in my life. He said, really? He said, how was that? I said, Yeshua spoke this language. And I said, I'm in love with Yeshua. And when you're in love with somebody, you want to learn their language. That's just the way it is. If you marry somebody from a foreign country, you're going to want to learn their language because you love them, and you want to share the language with them. So, learning the Hebrew language is literally will draw you closer to Yeshua. It really will. You just get so much of appreciation of him. So we're going to close today in prayer. Abba, Father, I just thank you for this wonderful language you've given to us. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness and your kindness, Lord, because you wanted to communicate with us, so you gave us a language that you could communicate with us on multiple levels, not just on the level of speech, but also the level that is underlying each and every one of these letters, Lord. Lord, you wanted to speak to us on multiple levels, and so you developed a language, Lord, that was on multiple levels. And Father, we just give you thanks for that right now, because we want to communicate with you, and we want to hear what you want to communicate with us. We want to have this relationship back and forth with you. So, Lord, help us, Lord, to learn. Help us, Lord, in the days to come, to apply ourselves to this language and to put this language into our use so we can begin to understand it. Help us, oh God, to learn the alphabet. Help these letters, oh God, Lord, to be part of our lives. We give you praise, we give you glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Good to see everybody.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, now, Ellie, I don't know if I have a way of sending you the material that I have. Am I friends with you on Facebook?
She will add you, Pastor. She's from Singapore. She will add you.
From Singapore?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'll send me a friend request, then I will send you the material through Facebook Messenger. Okay?
Okay. Ellie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll need to have a friend request, and then I can send her the material that we had today, so she can have all the flashcards and everything that she needs. Okay?
Okay, I'll add you on Facebook. David
Yes.
Mattox, right? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
David Mattox. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for the wonderful teaching today. Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Thanks for the wonderful teaching.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye to everybody.